of that.
I would love you guys to buy my house, really.
Especially at this price.
Right?
Any other questions or comments? All right, consensus to move this to the formal?
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Blankenship?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia? Trustee Bullwinkle?
Yes.
President Cullerton?
Yes.
And I'm done. Okay.
Item 8, consider work rights agreement authorizing village personnel to enter property located at 525 East Washington Street and install an under drain on private property. Manager Page.
Yes, there's an existing existing drainage problem on the property adjacent to the 525 East Washington Street. The homeowner at 525 East Washington Street constructed a room addition and a concrete patio in 2004 that may have affected drainage situation on the adjacent property. Building permits have been issued for both the room addition and the patio. However, the fill permit has been issued only for the room addition. Fill permit for the patio would have been required. To mitigate for the concrete patio installation after the fact, the village and the property owner at 525 East Washington Street have agreed to install the perimeter under drain. A work rights agreement has to be executed prior to any work.
Any questions or comments from the public? Questions or comments for the board?
Mr. President,
Trustee Davis.
Vetus, will this be coming out of the backyard fund that has no money in it? Backyard drainage fund?
Well, we're using the backyard drainage policy to effect the work, but the homeowner is putting up all the materials and we are providing the labor. That's the 50-50 split.
Okay, because I know that there is no money in
No,
that fund.
there's no village money in
So
this.
we'll be
just
eating
our
labor only.
That's correct.
Do you have an idea what that cost will be?
The labor, I can get that to you. I don't have it in front of me, but we do have a written estimate for that.
Okay, is that a one-day job, two-day job?
2 days at the most, I believe.
Cool, thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Mr. President,
Trustee Blankenship.
I'd like to thank both Shubra and Vetus for their help on this. This is a 3-year-old problem, and a lot of meetings and time and so forth were put in, so thanks very much. I'm sure the citizens that this has affected are very pleased. We hope they're pleased, and I think this is a good solution. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, any other questions or comments? Can I have a consensus to move this to the formal?
Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Blankenship?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Bullwinkle?
Yes.
President Cullerton?
Yes. Item 9, consider adoption of fuel-efficient driving practices. Manager Page.
Fuel-efficient driving practices reduce emissions and save taxpayer dollars. A few years ago, the Public Works Department developed a written policy for such driving practices. The policy addresses engine warm-up, unnecessary idling, driving methods, and trip planning. It is proposed to expand the use of the policy for village-wide application.
Any questions or comments from the public? Questions or comments from the board?
Mr. President,
Trustee Bullwinkle.
I was happy to see this come forward. I had inquired about idling and other things when I first came on the board, and so it's good to see that about 2 years later, it's here. So I'm eager to hear more about it, what your plans are. So.
Well, it looks like it's been here for a while. It just is now going to be village-wide, correct?
It's good. It's good.
Publicly endorsed.
Yes.
Beautiful.
That's
Mr.
good.
President?
So actually, Vetus, do you want to give us the success story of this prior for the past?
Well,
What's
this
been going on?
more or less started some years ago. I believe the village was signed on for the Cool Cities program,
Yes, sir.
And one of the arms of that program was looking at the green fleet and the whole fuel issue. So, we did a little bit of research and came up with what was written at the time and more or less rewrote it for our department and implemented it about 2 years ago. And, there's been talk on and off about going village-wide, and now with the recent spike in gas prices, we thought this would be the appropriate time to bring it before the board and formalize it and maybe put the challenge out there for each department to figure out a way to implement it. We go through about 80,000 gallons of fuel per year. So just a 5% savings in fuel, could be a significant amount of dollars, $12,000 or more in actual dollar savings. So I think that's a doable goal, just with the different things we can try. The other things we will be coming back to the board hopefully in the future are some of the alternative fuels and to look at some of the older vehicles. We ran some numbers. We think some of our older vehicles can be replaced and get a payback just based on fuel savings alone, not even looking at maintenance.
Biofuel too, perhaps?
Biofuel's coming also.
We had our neighbors to the north from Algonquin. They came down a year or so ago and gave a presentation during a workshop.
Right, that was
about that.
on the cooking oil.
Yeah.
We are actually using biodiesel right now as part of our blend in all our vehicles. So there's a lot of different things here coming down. But, basically, we thought this was a good start. Start with what we have and how to increase the efficiency of what we're driving out there now. Save trips, save the idling, take it easy on the gas pedal, combine trips when possible. And then, once we do that, then we can go ahead and look at some of the other things, such as more fuel-efficient vehicles, alternate fuels, and things like that. It's just the beginning, hopefully.
Fantastic. Vitas, thank you very much, and I'm glad to see it was a success for your department, but not only successful enough that it's being rolled out for every department in the village. That's
Right.
great.
And by formalizing, I think we'll set actual goals and actually come back and see how we did. I mean,
Fantastic.
we implemented, but I don't think we're actually measuring our success, but that's something we want to do definitely going forward.
Fantastic. Trustee Blankenship?
Vitas, one department that I think we were discussing last time this came up was the police department, and the response from, I believe the department was that it's hard to leave or turn off their vehicles when necessary, and one of the reasons, I believe, was because of the laptops that they have in their cars. Though they have batteries, there was, I think, a reason why they wanted to leave them on for extended periods of time. Does this include their department? Are they going to be?
Well, if
be
you
able to
look at the
support
wording
this?
of it, I left wiggle room for each department to tailor it to their own needs. I mean, emergency vehicles can have one set of parameters. There's still administrative vehicles in each department. So certainly, there is some room for improvement everywhere. So it'll vary, again, because of situations like that, but we feel everybody can do something to improve over the present situation. And I think each department will have to tailor it for their own situation as to what's doable and what's not doable.
Will each department get a goal to try to strive?
Well, that's what I think we should do, is have each department, work together and set goals for each department, ideally.
Okay.
And we know the fuel usage by department, even by vehicle. I can tell you each vehicle how much gas they go through, so we can pick on certain types of vehicles or certain age vehicles.
So-
We have the data to back it up, so we can tailor it.
So will you be able to implement, or will you be setting those goals for the department, or at least coordinating the goals?
Well, as the fleet maintenance division will, since they have all the data, I'm sure they'll have a hand in this. But certainly, if I'm asked to be involved in overseeing this, I certainly will.
Okay. So, Manager Page, can we ask Vitas to oversee that so the goals are set?
I think it would be good to designate someone to have responsibility for implementation of the program. We've talked about that.
Right.
Excellent.
Actually, I did have a volunteer already. If it's not me,
Awesome. Thanks.
Mr. President,
Trustee Davis?
Vitas, they have modules that you can put on vehicles, doesn't matter what type of vehicle, that if it's idling for more than 15 minutes, it automatically shuts it down. Plus, something that I advise in all of our equipment, there should be hour meters installed on everything that runs. There's a difference between mileages and engine idle time.
Yes, most public works vehicles have hour meters. I
Right.
can't
PD
speak for the other
probably
departments.
doesn't have that. That's something I suggest that you do. The meters are rather inexpensive, but that'll actually give you a real-time data for how many idle hours that vehicle's going through, or run hours. Just a small suggestion from me. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Mr. President,
Trustee Bullwinkle?
just another thing to throw out there. The Environmental Concerns Commission, we're always tossing around these types of topics, and I see we have our chair here, as a matter of fact, of the Environmental Concerns Commission, Bob Wagner, and perhaps this is something, I don't know if there's something that the commission can do to kind of help, but if you're looking for volunteers, I know you're talking about from the staff level, but if there's anything else that the commission can potentially do to help, whether it be research or, I'm not sure what this means yet, but these are certainly topics that we talk about during the Environmental Concerns Commission meeting, so if there's any way that the commission can lend a helping hand, research.
Well, we'd be
Phone
more
calls,
than
whatever.
glad to join forces on this.
Yeah.
I see a yes, so that's great.
Seems to make
Absolutely.
sense to make some
Yes, it
sort of
does.
connection and collaboration there, so. Okay, we'll talk about it at our March meeting.
All right, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Consensus to move this to the formal?
Trustee Blankenship.
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus.
Yes.
Trustee Taglia.
Yes.
Trustee Case.
Yes.
Trustee Bullwinkle.
Yes.
Trustee Davis.
Yes.
President Colleton.
Yes. Item 10, consider bid proposals for the printing of the recreation program brochures for FY 11-12. Manager Page.
Each year, the Recreation Division prints 9,500 program brochures seasonally, 4 times annually, which advertise all the programs and services available to the residents of Villa Park. The cost to print these brochures is in excess of $10,000. Therefore, authorization from the Village Board is necessary to award this printing bid. Bids were received from 5 printers, and the lowest qualified bidder was received from Graphic Arts Services of Villa Park, Illinois. All specifications listed in the bid were met, and Graphic Arts Services has satisfactorily completed multiple printing projects for various village departments. Staff is recommending that the printing bid be awarded to Graphic Arts Services in the amount of $17,126. Funds to complete this work are available in the proposed 11-12 recreation budget, account 35-502-35230, and account 35-502-36230.
Any questions or comments from the public? Questions or comments from the board?
Mr. President,
Trustee Blankenship?
it's great to see a Villa Park vendor get the business, so congrats to them. Greg, I was just wondering, did we obtain advertising dollars to help subsidize this?
We are going out. We're working with Schuber's office to contact local businesses, and we will be going out to notify them that we're going to put some ads in the brochure, and if they want to participate, they can get back with us.
So you'll have time to...
Yes,
Cool.
yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I would suggest talking to Alicia Bailey over at the Chamber of Commerce as well, because she does not only their brochures and their website. I would guarantee you many chamber members would probably like to be part of that as well.
You bet. Hopefully we'll have too many to put in the
That would be
brochure.
fantastic. Be nice if we had $17,126 worth of advertisers. That would be beautiful. All right, any other questions or comments from the board? Consensus to move this to the formal?
Trustee Boltus?
Yes.
Trustee Blankenship?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Bullwinkle?
Yes. Yes, excuse me.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Me, yes. President Colleton?
Yes. Thank you, Trustee Davis, for taking over for Clerk Cornicky right now.
No problem. Team player.
All right. Item 11, consider an amendment to Section 19-104 of the Municipal Code to clarify the definition and the duties of the Office of the Police Chief. Manager Page.
Per ordinance, the police department is authorized to have 2 full-time sworn officers who are designated to the rank of deputy chief. These upper management positions have historically been filled with personnel who have participated in a promotional examination process similar to other ranks within the police department. This method for this particular rank is outdated and ineffective. State statute affords the chief of police the ability to appoint any full-time sworn officer with at least 5 years of full-time service within the police department to the rank of deputy chief. Modifications to the ordinance as recommended would allow the police chief to make appointments to both deputy chief positions when vacancies arise and enhance the ability of the police chief to efficiently manage the police department. In addition, the village's council recommends modification of the ordinance to clarify the definition and duties of the office of the police chief.
Any questions or comments from the public? Questions or comments from the board?
Mr. President,
Trustee Davis?
I would ask that we defer this to executive session, considering we have talked about this position in executive session with the former manager.
Where does that put us?
Well, if we want to make it a formal motion to table this until after a discussion in executive session, that motion could be made. We do have an executive session on tonight's agenda for personnel. This is for a specific position. We can discuss it. If we have a motion to do that in a second, then it's approved. But I think it does relate to a specific position, and I think we can discuss the specific position.
Okay. All right, so do you want to make a motion, Trustee Davis?
Yes, sir. I would like to make a motion to put this
All right.
into executive session.
All right. Does anyone want to second his motion?
I'll second it.
All right, Trustee Blankenship. Questions or comments from the board on moving? So if, real quick, let me get this right. So we would be looking, they're looking to put this into executive session. If it goes to executive session, coming out of executive session, we would then vote on a consensus to move it to the formal after executive session. Is that correct?
Well, perhaps. It depends on what occurs in executive session. Right now, we're
Right.
just tabling it to executive
To
session.
executive session, and based on whatever happens coming out of executive session, we would either, nothing would move forward on it, or there would be a consensus to move it to the formal after executive session.
That's my assumption, right.
Does everybody get that?
Yes, sir.
Everyone understand what would happen if we go to, okay. All right, then I guess, any other questions or comments? All right, the motion is to move the item 11 to executive session. Can I have a roll call vote?
Trustee Taglia.
Yes.
Trustee Bullwinkle.
Yes.
Trustee Case.
Yes.
Trustee Davis.
Yes.
Trustee Blankenship.
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus.
Yes.
President Colleton.
All right, item 11 will move to executive session. Item 12, advance to bill listing. Items A through E. Can I have a motion to advance to bill listing? Or a consensus to advance to bill listing? Actually, real quick, questions or comments for the public? Questions or comments for the board? All right, now a consensus to advance to the formal.
Trustee Davis.
Yes.
Trustee Blankenship.
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus.
Yes.
Trustee Taglia.
Yes.
Trustee Case.
Yes.
Trustee Bullwinkle.
Yes.
President Colleton.
Yes, all right. We will go back to the formal agenda to do items 11 and 12. Item 11, resolution authorizing joint purchase of bulk rock salt with the state of Illinois. Can I have a motion for the resolution?
Mr. President,
Trustee Davis.
make a motion for the resolution.
Can I have a second?
Mr. President,
Trustee Blankenship.
second the motion.
Questions or comments from the board? Roll call vote.
Trustee Case.
Yes.
Trustee Davis.
Yes.
Trustee Blankenship.
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus.
Yes.
Trustee Taglia.
Yes.
Trustee Bullwinkle.
Yes.
President Colleton.
Yes. Item 12, resolution in support of an application for funding of the North Side Sidewalk Project under the Federal Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality Improvement CMAQ program. Can I have a motion for the resolution?
Mr. President,
Trustee Taglia.
move for the resolution.
Can I have a second?
Mr. President,
Trustee Bolfus.
second.
Questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Davis.
Yes.
Yeah,
Davis.
Trustee Davis, sorry. Trustee Blankenship.
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus.
Yes.
Trustee Taglia.
Yes.
Trustee Case.
Yes.
Trustee Bullwinkle.
Yes.
President Colleton.
Yes, all right, we will go into executive session. When we come out of executive session, we may have two things to vote on. One being from the committee of the whole and one being from the formal agenda. Thank you, Village Park. Have a great week. Happy St. Patrick's Day.